What is up, YouTube? Today we're back into the Guild War banger, and we are actually matched up against Firefly. I don't know why matchmaking keeps giving us global guilds. Like it's cross-server matchmaking, but we keep getting fucking global guilds in like Korea. So I don't really know what's happening. Anyways, in this video I'll be doing some voiceovers since my wife in the morning was sleeping and she's a bit ill. So I wasn't trying to wake her up, shit, because I wouldn't have been able to play. So hopefully you guys can understand. We'll be doing some voiceovers. As always, drop a like, comment for the algorithm, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the first attack. All right, so for the first attack, I'll be going with ML Ken, Han Guy, and Dragon Bright Senya into SPP U Fiend A Tywin. Now, obviously, the reason for that is because if you ever see A Tywin, usually it's going to be Han Guy, since I can cleanse the defense breaks. And obviously, ML Ken recently got buffed, so you don't need crit chance on him anymore. And Holy Sacrifice on Senya is really important, just in case things go wrong. Now, I'm going to be going with Litica on the second team here, where I'm running a full tempo comp. So I'm running Candle on Defric Artie, with a Firefly and Destro Pen for max damage on Dreamlike Holiday. And then I'll be going with Sylvian Sage because at 5 focus she gets 2 hits now with her new buff. And Book is obviously mandatory so that I can soul burn Litica. And yeah, the whole idea for the second team is I'm just going to overwhelm them with tempo. And I don't really know how it's going to play out, but I can't think it's going to go wrong since RTA shows Litica's pretty OP. Now, into the first match we go. SPP is going to be pressing S3 first, and then I'm going to get pushed back on the hand guy, which is pretty much what we're expecting, right? A Tywin's going to go for an S3 here. Okay, beautiful. And then Yuffie hits. Now, I'm going to S3 here to get the immunity and attack buff. Now, unfortunately, I didn't actually proc my Bride Resolve, but it really makes no difference in this case, since as long as it's optimized, yeah. As long as it's optimized and it drags Yuffie, it should be fine, right? Now, send your procs. Now, A-Time is going to move, but we really don't care, and we get a counter from ML Ken. Okay. And now we're going to rip S3 with Bride Resolve. And just slam it on him, I guess. Yuffie's definitely gonna die here. Okay, I'm gonna go for an S1 here to try to push the ML Ken forward to get a hit in, which we get lapped since it's on Warhorn. And she did crit, so we're just gonna pop her and then drop an S3 with ML Ken and get a quick dub. It's not every day you get to use ML Ken, but when you do, it's a pretty good day. Now, onto the second team. This one's a little bit more of a test comp. I really don't know how it's going to work. I don't even know if it's a good comp, but I'm just going to go for the Soulburn S2 play with SSV here, since SSV and Flan can't lose to Mort, right? So, assuming if I kill these other two, it should be okay. So, Soulburn S2. I missed Defric on Arunka from Elegant Candle, so I can just S3 here onto the Arunka. And this is going to ignore effect resistance since it's binded right now. And there you go. And then SSV is going to S1 to drag the Firefly. And the second hit actually kills. Then Flan's going to be able to rip an S3 into the Ilanav now, which should kill. There's no way it doesn't kill. There's no way it doesn't kill. There's no way, right? We just rip the S3 here into the Ilanav and boom, headshot. And then Mort is going to rip an S3. Now, I did make Litica to have the highest HP just so that Mort's pen damage on S3 will go towards the Litica and nobody else. Then we're just going to S1, drag Flan here. Beautiful S1 here. And obviously it's Holy Sacrifice. If you haven't guessed, almost all Morts on defense are Holy Sac. And then he's going to rip an S1, but after that, it's pretty much GG, right? S1, drag Flan, boom, headshot. And yeah, that's the first attack. We'll move on to our second attack of today, but that was quite clean, if you may ask me. Alrighty, so for the second attack, I'm going to be hitting the infamous or famous Shu Mort Ilanav defense, which is obviously pretty bad. If you haven't watched my previous video where I have the 100% win rate comp, here it is, running the SPP TML TU banger, right? Then bottom, there's Harsetti Flan FCC, so I'm just going to run Yulha as my bait with Hand Guy on a Harsetti build. Basically just swap out the boots, Holy Sac so that I can come back in case anything goes wrong, and then my Flan's going to be on Destro and Bloodstone for some sustain. Now, the top team is really free, obviously. Once I push it back, Taeyu just rips up, and it's pretty much GG's from there. So we're just going to go for the Soulburn S3 on turn 1 here with SPP. We see Mature Sunglasses, Aureus, and Sweet Miracle in the very beginning, so make sure you're paying attention at the very start of every battle so that you don't miss artifacts, or at least record your screen in case you're not paying attention. Now Taeyu's going to move by Soulburn S3 since Unseen Observer generates the other 10 souls for me here, which is just going to apply defense break. Now it is not 100%, but we did land 3 of them, so it should be fine now. So I'm just going to go for an S1 on more since I know it's not on Holy Sacrifice. We saw Mature Sunglasses in the very beginning, and now because Illinev is softened up through Aureus damage transfer, TML S3 is just going to for sure one-shot it. And because I actually go into hiding, if Shu does cut in front of the SPP, it's just going to S3 into Teiyu because that's the only thing it can hit with other 2 units are stealth. And it doesn't even matter here since I'm just going to S1, drag Teiyu, 40k to the head, headshot. Now, first attack, very clean. Now, moving into the second one, should be pretty clean as well. So, Harseti's obviously going to move first here. Now, we see the Aureus, and we do see the immunity on the plan as well. So, again, pay attention to the very start of your matches or record your attacks, okay? S3, FCC is going to move. They got, like, God tuning, so it is what it is, 30k FCC. Okay. Flan's even going to be able to get an S3 off here to apply onto the Yulha. Okay, so now I'm just going to go for an S3. Like, there's really no reason for me to not S3 here. Obviously, it's because I get 50 CR, I get attack buff, it increases my chances of doing maximum damage on Firefly to kill Harseti ASAP. Most cases, 99.9% of the time, it's always Harseti first, right? Once Harseti's out of the match, you take away the injury, you take away the mage artifact proctions of Abyssal Crown or Bubble Maker and all that bullshit. And then we get the Death Break, S1 here. Not quite a headshot, but a lot of damage. And then here, I'm thinking about S2ing on the Harseti, but I'm also thinking that, like, just like a normal AoE while Death Broken will kill, so I'm actually contemplating just going for an S1 on the FCC instead, so that I can get a free hit and then I can not waste damage here, right? Drag Flan, boom, and then Flan S1 is going to kill the Harseti and throw out a bunch of damage onto the FCC through damage transfer. But even if you're not playing in Guild War or just any mode, Arena, RTA, you typically never want to waste damage, right? So always evaluate every single turn carefully, just so that you don't run into cases where, like, you lose because you made the wrong decision, right? So now I'm thinking of S1ing onto Flan for damage transfer. A little bit of a fool moment here because I probably should have just killed FCC, but in the grand scheme of things, it really makes no difference, right? Like, FCC survives, her barrier goes on to her, which is a little bit annoying, but really, it makes no diff. So I'm just going to S1 onto the Flan again. Again, not trying to waste damage, right? Get as much damage out onto the Flan ASAP. Okay, no problem. And now I'm just going to S1 with the Flan here. Bloodstone a little bit, but break the barrier off FCC so that I can flatten it out for the hand guys to just rip an S2 to kill it off here. Beautiful. And honestly here, I probably should have just over an S3, but I don't know why, I just did not do that, so all good. It really makes no diff. We S want to save time here, or I guess S3. Get our attack buff up so that the Flan can get another S1 off with attack buff, and Flan should be dead in a jiffy here. And obviously, I don't S3. I'm not trying to extend the battle any longer than it needs to be. And just S1. And very clean attack. That's our second hit. So moving on to our third hit of today, but very clean so far, and we'll stay that way for the rest of the video. All right, into our third attack we go. It's going to be the same comp. I don't know why people still have this on defense, because I'm going to shit on it every time. TML, SPP, ML Taeyu, Raw Dog, No Condom, Bareback, take him out back, right?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now at the bottom, we're doing a little throwback Thursday. It's not Thursday, but a little throwback Thursday for Talentless, right? We're going to run our Shotgun DC, Iseria reset, Dark Corvus push up with Destina headshot, right? Standard staple comp in Guild War that you guys are all too familiar with if you guys have been longtime viewers of the channel. And without ML Arunka on the defense, Dark Horse is pretty free, especially if there's 3 light units, right? Now, right here, I'm just going to go for a Soul Burn, grab the CR bar here. I'm going to Soul Burn S3 with SPP here, push everything back. And Taeyu's going to boost up here. Now, obviously, if you can't make a really fast SPP, just make your Taeyu tanky enough to eat a Shu S3, by the way. And then we're going to Soul Burn S3. We get defense break on everything again somehow. And I'm gonna go for the Illinev here since I saw that it was Aureus. And because it is Death Broken Mort, like TML S3 is gonna be able to kill 100%, right? It might not kill through damage transfer, but it'll for sure kill if you remove the damage transfer, which is why we go for the Illinev here. And Shu is the last priority since when TML presses S3, she goes into hiding with stealth along with SPP. So right here, you'll watch the Shu kill herself. She just suicides here, right? Boom, headshot. Right back at you, boom. 60k on your head. Headshot, GG. Right? So that's why this comp is really, really disgusting, to be honest. Now, for the second one, a little bit boring. I'm not gonna lie. A little bit boring. And but it's a throwback Thursday moment, right? Like, I haven't been able to use Dark Corvus in like probably 12 months. So very nice to shake the rust off him. And also, for the record, Dark Corvus is even better now, right, into ML Arunka, because there are artifacts like Proof of Friendship now that you can put along with Destina, which can put easily Dark Corvus over 50k HP, right? Imprints, Prayer of Solitude, Proof of Friendship, right? It's just really, really easy with triple HP set to just get him over the 50k HP threshold. And right here, I'm kind of contemplating like just not soul burning, because like a standard S3 no soul burn does about 29k, and the barrier is not going to give her like 6k HP from 22k, right? So with that information, I basically just decide to uncheck the soul burn and just go for like a straight bareback, raw dog, no condom S3 onto the Arunka instead. Just how we like it IRL, but you know, unfortunately, beggars can't be choosers, if you know what I mean. And if you know what I mean, leave a comment below. S3, kill off Arunka here. Now it's just 2 light units now. And, you know, once Arunka's dead, I mean, I don't really have anything else to worry about. Tank and S3. Candy's going to start working. 12k Candy, so it's very, very squishy. We S1. We S1 again since we don't really need an S3 and Destina anyways. Like, we're not in any danger. We're not going to die to a dual attack, into a salvo, into a, you know, like, it's all good, right? We're running, like, almost 2k defense Dark Corvus, so... And we have Guardian Ice Crystal, right? So we don't have to be worried whatsoever. We S1 onto the back here. We S1 onto Senya again. And then Candy's going to charge us up for our last stack on Dark Corvus. And then Destina is just going to boost it up here. And again, obviously, Senya S1 is not going to do anything, even if it dual attacks, so I don't need to be scared. And right here, I don't want to waste any souls, so I'm just going to soul burn onto the Candy, just make sure it dies. I don't want to go for a Senya here, just in case, like, you know, what if it was like Albris, right? If it Albris and then it stacks again, and then he gets an S3 off, and then shit just gets very awkward, right? Even if I kill Candy and I proc Rise Resolve, like, Senya is not going to be able to 1v3 us, right? It's not going to be able to headshot us from, like, 100 to 0, even if it had soul burn, for example. So I'm not worried about it whatsoever. So we just go for the S1. Destina, we even just S1. We hold S3 because, like, we ain't no bitch. Tank that Bride Resolve like a fucking man. And as soon as we get our Syria reset off for Dark Corvus, I mean, we're basically piss chilling. All right. Here we go. Get our S2 off. Boost our DC. In a moment. Boost our DC here. Okay, I don't know why I didn't boost the DC. I'm a bum. We waited for the barrier to fall off, I guess, and then we just soul burn S3 afterwards to kill off the Dragon Bright Senya. But if you haven't already, I recommend shaking the dust off of your Dark Corvus, because you never know when it might come in handy. As long as there's no ML Arunka on defense, it is possible to use. That is it for the 3 attacks. Very clean, nice, and steady. Alrighty, so that's going to do it for today's Guild War video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Not always are we going to be doing a voiceover, so we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming on future videos. But let me know what you guys want to see. I know you guys mentioned you want to see some of the Korea defenses and maybe the defenses based on regions and like arena defenses and things like that, and how Arunka is impacting the meta. So these are all things I already kind of have in mind, and these are things I'll be working on as well. So be patient for that. But as always, that's it for today. I'll see you guys on the next video. So like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. And see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.